What's going on, everyone? My name is UnderTheRadar, and welcome back to the Draft League Viabilities. In this episode, I'm going to be doing something that was requested by somebody in the Discord. If you guys would like to request something, the Discord link is in the description down below, or you can leave it in the comments. A while ago, I did something comparing Nido King and Nido Queen to help people understand like when you should draft which one. For this video, I wanted to do something that these two Pokemon have been rising in popularity so much recently that I feel as though they haven't ever been talked about as to which one to be drafted when, because they're so similar in some people's eyes, when in reality they're actually very different. They're two Pokemon with very similar typings, actually the exact same typing, that do very different things, and that is Mega Gallade and Mega Medicham. So I kind of want to talk about what each one does and on what type of team you should draft each one of them. So Mega Gallade, base 165 attack, is phenomenal. Access to Bulk Up, Setup, Wish. It has access to Will-O-Wisp, which is really unique. Close Combat, Zen Headbutt, Ice Punch, Shadow Sneak, which is really important for priority. Very good move pool. Even has access to Destiny Bond Disable, allowing it to utilize its base 115 Spadef stat to be a bulkier Pokemon with Bulk Up. It's like Bulk Up, Sub Disable, Drain Punch is a set that I have personally ran, and it's made it to where ghost types actually don't want to stay in, meaning that you bulk up enough, you substitute, you disable their only offensive move, they have to switch out, and if you have toxic spikes up, you actually beat them 1v1. So that's something that I personally have done. Has very good coverage in Knockoff, Leaf Blade to hit things like Seismitoad. It also gets access to Memento, meaning that this is a Pokemon that has a very good support value in it can support an entire team. It can make it to where if you have another setup sweeper, it's really good. This can set up on its own very easily. And with its base 110 speed, it outspeeds a lot of Pokemon, base 100s, 105s, and things that are 110 it speed ties with. So it's mainly going to be used. Also, Taunt. Holy shit. I love this Pokemon. I love this Pokemon so much. It can be used in so many different aspects. It can be used as a setup sweeper. It can be used as a cleaner because of its speed. It can be used as a breaker because of its attack stat. It can be used in so many different ways that building a team around this Pokemon is super easy. Mega Medicham, on the complete other hand, this thing is a breaker. It is only a breaker. If you are not using it as a breaker, you're using it wrong. This thing with 100 base attack, pure power, doubling its attack stat, making this with an adamant nature. I don't know why I typed in adamant. I meant to type in adamant down here. With an adamant nature, max attack, it takes it up to like 334 attack at level 50. That's stupid. For reference, with an adamant nature, wait, yeah, that max IVs. This only hits 237, almost a 100 point difference, 30% stronger. So this thing is a really good breaker. This thing forces switches every single time. Nothing is safe. Even bulky psychics can't really take this thing on because you just run double edge and it breaks down bulky psychics that want to switch into Zen Headbutt plus high jump kick. So where these two Pokemon differ are how you build around them, because you build around them in such different ways. With this, you want to draft a more bulky-ish team to wear things down easily, to put it in range of its close combat, to put it in range of its Zen Headbutt, put it in range of its knockoff. You want to draft a bulkier team with hazard stack, with webs, maybe if you wanted it, but you want to draft bulkier and a couple good offensive mons with it. With Mega Medicham, you want to draft more offensive. You want to draft a really good Pokemon like Gengar, a really good bulky psychic destroyer, because what Mega Medicham has over Mega Gallade that I think makes the big difference is Baton Pass. Okay, so what Baton Pass does, this thing forces in bulky psychics. If you have something like a Zoroark, a Drapion, anything that can pursuit trap a bulky psychic type, you Baton Pass out, drop it in, take out the bulky psychic. That is how you have to build around this thing. For Mega Gallade, it's the exact opposite. You don't want to try to bait something in. You want to, with this Pokemon at least, you want to try to bait in things with your other team members to weaken them for Mega Gallade. This thing is what you want to have things baited for. This is the baiter. It is the master baiter. Wait. So that's the big difference between the two, in my opinion. It is so different that whenever you're looking to draft one of them, don't even consider them on the same plan. Saying if I get sniped of Mega Gallade, I'll take Mega Medicham, because you have to draft completely differently around them. You have to take a completely different route of drafting. Like, so with Mega Gallade, in my opinion, you don't need a Pursuit Trapper. You don't need a super offensive ghost type like Gengar, because with SD, with its Spadef stat, with Knockoff, with X-Scissor, it can break down bulky psychic types on its own. This thing can't. You need a Pursuit Trapper. You need a really offensive ghost type like Delmise, like Gengar, like Drapion, like Skuntank. You need something to be able to help take those out. With this, you don't really need setup. Like, you don't need a Dragon Dancer. You don't need a Zygarde. You don't need a Salamence, because this can be your setup sweeper. You want breakers with this thing, so this thing can sweep. This thing you need setup sweepers, because this is going to break for those setup sweepers. Does that make sense? This thing is going to break down the bulky fairies for your Salamence, for your Dragonite, for your Zygarde. This thing is going to be able to benefit from those things, from breakers. So realistically, if you could have two Megas on a team, you would draft both of them. They would both do completely different things, and they would both do amazing things for your team. I have to sneeze. Shit. Bless me. Thank you. So I think that's the big thing to keep in mind whenever you're drafting around these two. Like I said, you need to draft setup sweepers around this thing. You need to draft breakers around this thing. You need to draft a little bit more bulky. So things like, what's a really good breaker? Porygon Z. Great pair with this, because Porygon Z, it baits in ghost types, and then it bops them with a Dark Pulse. So you can conversion, make yourself a dark type, and then you bop them with Z Dark Pulse, and you get adaptability boost from it. So things like that is a little bit better. Porygon 2 is even really good with it, because it can 1v1 most teams. Whereas with this, you need breakers. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Again, it's just my personal preference. If you want this thing to flourish, you're gonna want to draft around it to where it's a breaker and it baits in things. If you want this thing to flourish, you're gonna have to use it to where it's your cleaner and it gets a lot of kills. Whereas this thing gets like 1, maybe 2 kills on some really important things for your setup sweepers to win. I hope that does make sense, though. I really hope that makes sense. Overall, which one I think is better? For my personal playstyle, I like Mega Medicham more. I love Mega Gallade, don't get me wrong, but I like Mega Medicham more because I like baiting my opponents. I like forcing my opponents exactly into where I want them to be. I like forcing them into... I love scenarios where my opponent is going, well, I have to do this. It's like, yep, you sure do. And I'm going to benefit from that because I know what you have to do, otherwise you lose the game. Whereas Mega Gallade, you can't really force that. You have to force that with other members of the team. And that's not bad, but you can still do it with other members. But I like doing it with Mega Medicham. I think Mega Medicham is a really cool mon to do it with. It's just my personal preference. But I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please make sure to leave a like down below for me. Also, make sure you check out all the links in the description, including links to the Discord. And with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.